Free roam for the Holy. Get our timing and scoring up. So once again, guys, this is Moto number 2 for the preseason race.
Our first number 2.
Our first Moto number 2 ever in Backyard MX. Here we go. Oh, Rob Dog flips out backwards.
Oh no, he's gonna have to do a lot of work now.
So once again, Off Dog gets a good run out of the hole shot. The question is can he make it happen? Jones with the early race lead for a second time. Jones has got revenge on his mind here. He wants to check out, put this pack behind. No, when he goes down. So he's still going to be a front runner, but his chances of checking out early are gone. So Ben on the FXR Honda here, proving why he belongs in the class with Hooter. Guys, last night at about 3 o'clock in the morning, Ben and Hooter and Van Mel were putting together a committee, making PowerPoint presentations in the Discord, and doing everything they could to prove why Ben needed to be in F class instead of open. So with positions available to backfill with open class, Ben signed up and said, let me in, put me in, coach, I'm ready to play. And here he has come to play. So Ben currently sits in first. So let's see here. Thank you, Jin, for continuing to be the GOAT that you are, as we now have proper race cameras. So Ben sits in first, Off the Doll with the Wicked Racing team in second, and Jones with NNY Racing, who had a good, secure Moto lead in Moto number 1, but had an unfortunate incident with a lapper. Sits in third and is now going to try to make a run back to the first place position. But LeFou sits in fourth, and Lug with the CC Suzuki / Factory Goon Honda team, I guess, sits in 5 and is being pressured by Felipe with Street Dogs Racing. So as we talked about, the Street Dogs Racing guys, they must be feeding their crew something, because they are some hard chargers.
Rob is already in 7th.
So Rob was in last off the hole shot and is now pushed up into 7th. Jones is going to try to get around Off the Doll here as they come across the finish line, and we officially begin lap number 1 for Moto number 2. So Jones not able to get a clean run. Oh no! Doll stalls the bike. Off the Doll stalls the bike after the finish line tabletop and loses the position. So as we come into the 180 billboard turn here, if there's a more official name for it, please let me know. But Jones has now moved up into second, and Ben is currently sitting in first. So these FXR kits look clean. Thank you, Aiden, for sending them to me before the race began. LeFou is in somewhat of a comfortable third. We'll see. Let's take it down here. Let's get on our free roam cam.
Jones went down in the commandments.
Yep, Jones goes down in the 10 Commandments, so he gives that position up to LeFou. If I remember right, Jones had made a mistake or two in the 10 Commandments in Moto number 1. So I think he did figure out a trick to it, but that little bit of a break might have caused a temporary short-term memory loss. So Jones has made the mistake in the 10 Commandments early in Moto number 2, so plenty of time for him to figure out how to capitalize on that, or correct that mistake rather, and prevent it from happening as we move forward through the pack. So we've still got LeFou here. All right, Jones is going to make that pass right now on the inside, but not able to do it. Flips over the bars and goes down. So now Off the Doll makes it back into his previous position ahead of Jones. So Ben is starting to check out, guys, all but Jones. I'm assuming there was a mistake made by Doll in that corner, and so Jones has capitalized on it and moved forward, as well as Lug. So battle for the third place position, guys, between Jones and Lug.
Oh no! He gets swirly, gets it up, but he saves it.
Yeah, so Lug started bumping around in that rough sand section here at Loretta's and almost took Jones out. Jones was almost a casualty of a mistake that was not his own, but luckily he kept it up on 2 wheels. So.
And here's Hooter, and he's a fan favorite in the chat. Oh, he's down. Luge is down. A whole bunch of people down.
So Ben has still put a sizable gap between him and LeFou. The question is, can he maintain it? Because as Joan begins to continue to push up onto the second place position, it's very possible that they could kind of slinky and push themselves together. So Jones is going to push LeFou, who's going to try to escape from him and continue running away, and that could lead them to catch up. Tajita takes out Dahl in the corner before the Ten Commandments, so Dahl's probably not going to have a good enough run to triple in. He's going to have to double through, and that's going to cost him some time. But Rob Dog, the man of the hour here, has made it back into a third place position, if I'm not wrong.
And he was dead last.
Let's take a look at our blimp camera here. Man, this thing's cool. So Ben on the FXR Honda is in first. It is... Wait a minute. Yeah, it's Jones with the NNY Racing Team, who has now moved up into second. LeFou is in third, and Rob Dog is in fourth. So I was wrong. Rob Dog is not in third. It's LeFou who's fallen back. So Jones is a powerhouse, man. He's going to be a powerhouse in the F class. These preseason races are going to help us. Yeah, I thought you guys might have heard that. These preseason races are going to help us identify who might be misclassified. Obviously, Jones is a powerhouse here in the F class. Doesn't necessarily mean it's not where he belongs, but we will see as we continue throughout the series. So Rob Dog and LeFou, though, man, they are in a heated battle for third place right now. Love it. Love that I made that emote, guys. As you can tell, it was very relevant. So Mojo, what are your thoughts? Oh no, LeFou goes down just as I'm trying to ask Mojo something, and that causes Tajita to go down. Breno runs off the track. So is Hooter going to be the one to capitalize? I don't know if Hooter was able to capitalize on any mistakes here, but he certainly allowed him to get back up in the pack. So Breno trying to take that corner at far too high of a speed, I think, tucks the front end and goes down, so he gives up a couple of positions. Man, we're going to have to go to the drone camera here for a second as we look at this battle, because we have got 4 riders wide, essentially. They do line up for this corner. Let's see how they each take the 10 Commandments. Dahl gets a good run, tries to catch up, but not able to make it happen. Go ahead, Mojo.
Felipe was the only one who tripled in, and it looked like it paid off around that corner there.
Yep, makes up 2 positions. Oh no, Dahl and Breno get in it together, and they both go down, and Felipe charges past LeFou on the roller there. Takes the position away, so can he make it stick? I believe he is going to. So let's look ahead here for just a second. We can see Tajita and Hooter ahead. Felipe's got his work cut out for him if he's going to push up into a podium spot. But guys, all of the action that... Oh no, Jones goes down after that corner. I think he tried to take the outside. So now Hooter is going to come up into the corner and join up with Jones in this battle. Timing and scoring will update in just a moment after these riders cross the finish line. So we will have official race positions. But as we can see, Ben on the FXR Honda still sits in first. And it will be Rob Dog in second, who is closely followed by Jones, who has now caught back up. I think Jones is getting through that sand section pretty quick because he keeps closing the gap between him and Rob despite having gone down. So Tajita is in fourth officially. Somebody's got cuts. I can see him moving down the scoreboard there. It's saying Hooter is in second technically, but Rob Dog and Tajita have cuts. So Hooter might have himself a good second place finish after a bad Moto 1. Jones tries to send the roller into the corner, lands a little sideways and tucks it, loses those 2 positions. So our race leader, Ben on the FXR Honda, and in second place here physically is Rob Dog Racing, but Hooter is the one who is going to take home the second place finish if Rob can't put a big enough gap in between them to overcome the cutting penalties.
You're coming up on lap traffic this time around more than last race.
So
I
there's
think
a
the lucky. Oh, sorry.
heated battle here between Tajita, Felipe, and LeFou as they come throughout the as they finish up the 10 Commandments. So Tajita falls back in the pack, not able to get a clean run through those sections there. Manages to keep it up on 2 wheels, but he does lose the positions because of it. So LeFou has moved up, Felipe has moved up, and now they have just throttled their way up to Jones. And they are going to have to force him to pick up the pace if he wants to get away. Rob Dog goes down now as well. Man, what
This
an
is
intense.
insane.
Yeah, this is insane. Paradox, give it to us if you got it, because Jones and Rob Dog are now back into a heated battle. And they're going to catch up to Hooter here in
You
any
know who the
moment.
luckiest rider is on the track right now?
So
Ben.
Hooter, sorry?
Ben's the luckiest rider on the track right now.
Yeah, Ben's not having to deal with any of this. That early hole shot really paid off for him. And that's what we mean, guys, is like just because you beat somebody by 20 seconds doesn't necessarily mean you don't belong in that class. There's a reason why every time you watch Supercross, they say that the key to the moto is a good start, because this is what happens. You get a good start, you don't have to worry about any of this drama as it happens in the pack behind you, and you can just ride a clean race with a clean track for half the moto or more. So this doesn't necessarily mean that Ben is some
Yeah.
superfluous A-class rider that is just sandbagging in the F-class right now after signing up from Open. Ben got himself a clean start like he needed to, and it's paid off for him. These other riders back here are doing everything that they can in a fight for survival as they battle through the track conditions.
Oh
And the lappers,
no!
Rob Dog tries to send it off that roller into one of the
Get
fastest
up,
lines
up,
that we
get up!
know, and he goes down into a lapper. Lands on Barron, riding for the Moto Factory, and has an unfortunate collision there with him.
Well, I believe that he can get back up there. He's going fast. Rob can get back where he was.
Yeah. This is a good track for Rob. He certainly has his work cut out for him with only 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in the moto if he wants to catch Jones. But he's on the throttle, man. He's barking on the Yami, so we will see. Where did Hooter go? Hooter went down. Man, Barron's had a lot of bad luck here as he's just trying to ride his own race. But he is in a...
Oh, Jones goes down.
Yep, Jones goes down after that triple. So let's
And
see.
also, I wanted to say, the last race, I believe Jones, when he was leading, pulled a 208, and Ben is pulling a 213. So you don't have to put in the crazy lap times to pull away.
Yeah, you just got to get the whole shot and stay consistent. Those are literally the keys to any motocross race. Someone in the chat mentioned some of the DNSs early, so usually I have Paradox co-commentating with me, and I ask him to keep an eye on the jump start. So Mojo helped me do that for the E-Class race, but that's just kind of one of the pain points with MX bikes being in beta, guys. There are still kinks that need to be worked out in the game. I don't know why riders jump start sometimes, but they do. So we'll try to keep a better eye on that in the E-Class race, which is going to happen just after this one is finished.
Oh, I feel terrible. I'm sorry about that.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I can check for those things as well, and I just forget to. So Paradox just keeps me honest and keeps me accountable.
Yeah.
So, guys, if you're just tuning in or if you missed it, these are just preseason races. The purpose of this series or of this preseason series is just for riders to qualify into their class, which they've already done. And so these races are purely for fun, just so riders can kind of get a small taste of what it's going to be like to compete against these riders in their class all series long. So there's no points on the line here. This is nothing other than just a preseason event similar to what you would see in the NBA or the NFL. Rob Dog goes down now after the 10 Commandments, and this allows Jones to catch up. So Hooter makes it pass by them. again, and now we have a close battle here between Jones and Rob Dog. Let's get a little bit closer here and go on board with Jones as he tries to catch up and make the pass. Now Hooter goes down. So once again, guys, with 3 laps remaining until our leader crosses the finish line, we are in a practically a bar-to-bar battle between Hooter and Rob Dog, with Jones coming up in third here. You can tell that the gearing on the Yamaha is much more on the lower side because Jones is having a hard time clearing that triple section there. Just after the corner, when you come through the tabletop, there's a triple which he's not able to clear completely, and I would personally blame that on the Yamaha, but I know that there are some Yamaha riders out there who would tear my head off for blaming it on the bike. So
It's just been back and forth with these guys this whole race.
So add Tajita to the mix here. So guys, according to timing and scoring, which has just updated, officially Ben sits in first, as we know, but it's Hooter who is in the second place position. And the cuts that Rob Dog and Jones have as Jones goes down and further impacts his ability to keep it within the top 5. The cuts that Jones and Rob Dog have are really it's cutting them deep. Rob Dog sits in second place officially, and as I say that, Hooter moves back up into the second place spot. But Rob Dog has been pushed back to fourth because of his cuts. So Tajita, who was physically 2 or 3 spots behind him, was ahead of him in timing and scoring. So the penalties can get the best of you if you're not careful.
Oh, and he goes down.
So let's check in real quick. So we've still got Ben in first, Hooter in second, Rob Dog in third, Tajita in fourth, LeFou in fifth, and Jones has fallen back to a 6th place physical position after the accidents that happened to him earlier in this lap. So you can see off in the distance there is our leader, Ben, on the FXR Honda, who is going to take his white flag right now. So we're looking at the last lap, guys, here for our second and final moto in the F-Class preseason race. So as we cross the finish line on board with Rob Dog in just a minute, we're going to see just how much of a cutting penalty he has. Oh, and he goes down, so it's really going to hurt him now. Most certainly Hooter is going to finish ahead of him on this lap. So Rob has got to pray for Hooter's downfall coming into this final lap and pray that he makes a critical mistake that pushes him so far back that Rob's cutting penalties are going to be overcomable. Rob may only have 5 seconds in cuts or so that means Hooter just has to finish within 5 seconds of him.
And Rob was down.
Yep, but Rob goes down. So now, in order for Rob to actually finish in second place, he'd have to pass Hooter and then gap him by at least 5 seconds. Rob just keeps thumping it, man. He's letting anxiety and pressure get the best of him.
Do you think it's the second moto just getting tired?
It could be. It could be that they're on their pretty much their 30th minute or more of racing here at Loretta's. So
he's down again.
Yeah, I think Rob is probably wanting to put this race behind him at this point and just get it done. But these other guys, man, they're not going to let up anytime soon. You got Jones here, who is still pushing up through the pack, trying to catch Tajita.
And he has cuts, so this is only going to hurt him even more.
Yeah. So Moto number 2, unfortunate for Rob Dog, but he's just got to maintain damage control here as they're in the last lap and see if he can minimize any further risk to his position. But it's all in good fun, guys. So that could be another aspect of it too. He's just ready to kind of put this moto behind him. He's had his preseason race, and he's going to just correct his mistakes, build up his stamina, if you will, and look forward to the real season when it begins next Tuesday.
Yeah, if I was him, I would be feeling pretty confident because he ran up front the whole both motos. So he just has to go in knowing that he belongs up front, and he just has to work on just keeping it up on two wheels.
That's right. Yeah, he can be proud of his performance tonight in the F class and just know that, it's the good starts and it's the consistency that are going to clearly pay off for him because he's got what it takes to compete.
And Hooter's proven that he is a fan favorite because I saw a lot of people cheering him on in chat, and then he's gonna finish second.
Yeah, Hooter has been hanging out in the Factory Goon Discord lately, and Hooter's got to learn the number one rule, and that is you don't give up.
Yeah,
You don't alt F4 whenever you're having a bad race because anything can happen.
yeah, gotta just keep charging.
All right, so let's see here as this race rounds out. Our final top 5 and top 10 position riders are going to come across the finish line, and we're going to get some updates to timing and scoring here. Let's check for any last lap battles that may be happening between these riders. A lot of big timing gaps here, though. So officially, guys, Ben on the FXR Honda is going to take the win in the second moto of the F class. Hooter finishes in second, Rob Dog in third, LeFou in fourth, and Tajita rounds out our top 5 with Jones just barely edging it out of the top 5 in the 6th place position.